That's In From The Side, ref.
Welcome back to In From The Side. We are back with another episode this week in a different setting. We're not in our normal studio because we're in the middle of a heat wave.
It's hotter than Satan's ballsack.
It is. I saw Satan hitchhiking on the A1 going south because it's a little bit hot in the UK. Matt, a couple of things we need to talk about this week. Do we have to talk about the Bulls?
We have to, bud. I think you made the comment.
That it can't get worse than last year.
Can't get worse than last
The Bulls
year.
were like, yeah, hold my beer.
Shame.
I mean, there's no nice way to say it. I love my team, and I'm a Blue Bull for life, but it was an absolute shambolic performance. There's no sugarcoating it. And yeah, there were a couple of tough calls, sure, where we could have said, yeah, was the pass forward, did it drift forward? You know, we could have got back into the game, but we left it too late to even be competitive. It's a different ball game playing Leinster in Dublin than playing Glasgow in Edinburgh, which technically was a neutral field. So at the end of the day, the guys just weren't good enough.
We got it completely wrong as well. We said that Leinster were fallible, that they have shown that they can be beaten, and they were awesome. I mean, even Prendergast had a fantastic game.
He had a fantastic game, outplayed Pollard in every facet of the game. I think after the critique they got in the Champions Cup final against Bordeaux, where they got smashed, I think they had a point to prove, and they wanted to.
They stepped up.
And again, you know, Jacques Nienaber's been in the news for the wrong reasons. He's been criticised, and he's lashed out against the Irish press. So I think they had a lot of points to prove where, I don't know, you know, did the Bulls really believe that they could win? I hope they do. I hope they had the belief, but they didn't play like a team that had it.
Well, this is the thing. You don't pitch up to a final or to a semi-final not thinking that you can win. I mean, it's a hard task when you're in their home ground and in front of their crowd, but at the same time, you got to show what got you there.
Yeah.
Guts and glory, determination, belief, all of those things, they come to the fore. And like you say, your boys just look like a bit of a shadow of themselves. And so, which is a shame, really, because, again, we come back to the point, I think the Leinster boys were there for the taking, and yet on that point, they stood up. They were in front of their home ground. Defensively, they were outstanding. And so Jacques gets a feather in his cap.
Absolutely. And look, we can go into the detail and debate on what the reasons are for the Bulls underperforming on the day. Jake White last year famously said it's the players. He doesn't believe that they're good enough. And he got the chop because he lost the locker room. So that, again, opens up the question. Is it the players? Is it the coach? Do we need to give Ackerman another season? But it's four finals out of 5 years now.
That you can't convert.
But they're already losing a whole bunch of experienced players. Kurtley Orange is leaving. Ruan Orkia is leaving. There's a whole bunch of other. Wilco Louw's going back to the Stormers. So they're going to have to, start afresh next year. And I think if you really want to see how good Johan Ackerman is as a coach, then he's going to have to produce the goods with a different makeup of team next season. So I don't have the answer. I don't know what went wrong. I'm worried that our marquee players, like a Kane and Moody and like a Andre Pollard, had absolute shockers, But I know that once they wear that green and gold, they'll perform again.
They've got BGT. Yeah.
So is it the coach? Because Rassi can get the best out of these players, whereas I don't believe Ackerman had.
Yeah, and it's a tough one. Your question, do we give Ackerman another season? I think it's hard to take it away from him after one season.
No, he'll stay. He'll stick around.
They had a few slip-ups in the beginning, faltered, questions around, he's not doing better than Jake, so why has he come in? And all of a sudden he got you guys to the final. It's like, why can't you convert? That is the question. So it'll be interesting to see what he does with this new squad and the new team next year. But a South African team needs to get to a final, needs to win it, needs to prove medal, because we can do it at Springbok level. It's just we're not doing it at provincial level.
Okay, well, talking about doing it at a Springbok level, let's pivot and talk about the Bokke. I didn't get a chance to watch the SAA game, and there's no highlights on YouTube for some reason. But apparently, the young guys played really, really well. But the Bokke against the Barbarians, I called it, I said, a 35-point plus victory, and I think we just about did that.
Yeah.
I didn't expect us to score 80, but I also didn't expect the Barbars to score 31. So
I thought the Barbars were good value.
They played well in
good
parts.
team. Yeah, good team. And again,
for a team that only had a week to prepare.
Warwick Galant, I saw, made a comment, it's one of the best weeks of his life. So much fun. And that's the thing about the Barbars is really great talent, really good players. Some of them maybe long in the tooth and past their best, but they come together and they know that they've got nothing to lose, even if they lose.
Yeah.
So they can swing it around, they can score some good tries, which they did. I think it exposed some of our defensive frailties, when they were able to score some of the tries. But, that class of the Springboks was always going to outlast them and get to 50, 60 minutes, we were going to run away with it. So I think the scoreline reflected that. We always said when we were watching the game together that the last 20 would be telling, and it was.
Yeah, it was. I even saw Razor Robertson smiling, which is something he didn't do in 2 years as All Black coach.
Yeah.
So, he had a good day out as well. But on the Bokke side, who were the guys that really impressed? I think, again, a lot of young guys got an opportunity. There's one name that really stood out, apart from the older heads that played well, like Gasper Wiese played really well, Jesse was solid in the midfield. But I think Riley Norton,
100%.
20-year-old, getting an opportunity in the furnace of the tight five, and I think he had an exceptional game.
He looked like he'd been playing as part of that team for ages. I mean, really stood up. He's a big lad, but he got about the park. He was industrious, and he just slotted in. And so I think you made the call. We've talked about it previously, but a future Springbok captain in the making.
100%. Yeah. 100%. I think maybe not after the World Cup, but definitely in the future. He's got all the attributes. All the attributes of a great leader.
Really strong, physical, talented ball player, but also clearly a strategic thinker. And, another Victor Matfield, another John Eales type, where not only are they there as a big lump, and he's a big fella. He's, for a young boy, he's large. But you could see in the way that he put himself about the park that he's a thinker.
Yeah, absolutely. Another one of the new guys that I thought had a decent game without really shining was Carlo Sadi on the tight head. I read a fantastic article this morning where he said he was in one of his first training sessions with Don Himman. He's just heard about what happens in the Springbok training camp when it comes to scrumming, and he said it was intense. It's like one of the most intense scrummaging sessions he's ever had. It went on longer than he expected, and at the end of it, he got he blacked out and he almost passed out, and Sia grabbed him and said, "Are you okay?" And Carlo looked at him and said, "Yeah, let's do it again." So he really loved it, and I think again, we're just the conveyor belt of props that we have in South Africa. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So the Springbok squad got announced this week, and on the props we got Thomas du Toit, Wilco Louw, Mchunu, Oxen Chair, Zachary Porthen, Carlo Sadi, he makes it.
Yeah.
Gerhard Steenkamp and Boan Venter. So
8 world-class props.
Unbelievable.
You can really pick any two.
Any starting lineup. Yeah. So fair play to the boys. Zachary Porthen obviously came on during the week, and he's made his way into the selection. I thought the boys that put their hand up actually showed some good mettle, and they deserve their place.
Yeah, 100%. I think some of the guys who didn't make the squad, and we can go through the squad in a little bit more detail. There's some names that we expected to see there. I think in the back line, I was surprised to see Jaco Williams there. But again, Ethan Hooker is injured, so he'll come back at some point. And one name that I didn't see there that I was a little bit surprised of was Elrich Louw, who's since coming back from injury has had a storming season for the Bulls, really strong in his ball carries, defensively solid. He's played under Rassie, and I thought he'd come back into the squad, but interesting not to see him. And then another one was Faf coming on against the Barbars. He made an appearance, but he didn't make the cut ultimately.
Yeah, which is a strange one for me because he's got all that skill, that experience, and if you're keeping him in the framework of as a part of the Barbars, then he didn't have a spectacularly bad game when he came on. So
he did what was expected.
Correct. So I don't know what would have warranted his then selection if not that performance. So that's a strange one for me. But again, if you look at the scrum halves, we got Ambrose Papier, which you're very chuffed with because you've been
deserves it, man. URC Player of the Season, I think he won 6 or 7 Man of the Match awards. He has to be there.
Yeah, Herschel Yankees was an interesting one for me. If you're going to drop Faf, especially after Faf got called up to the Barbars game, Herschel hasn't really played a hell of a lot for the Springboks for a while.
Last test he played was in August 2023, so he's been out of the system for 3 years. But we don't watch a lot of top 14, but apparently he's had a stellar season for Bayonne. He's played really, really well. So again, that move away from the Stormers seems to have reinvigorated his career, and we know what he's capable of. Remember that famous try he scored against the All Blacks in Wellington?
Yeah.
The guy's got all the skills. So again, who are we to argue with Rassie? They keep an eye on the players playing overseas and
class players.
Keen to see what he can do on the field.
Class players. You could probably argue that Faf was there alongside Herschel Yankees, Kobus Reinach and Grant Williams, and then Ambrose Papier has played his way in to knock Faf out.
Yeah.
And again, it's just performance after performance. he's really had again, like Herschel, you've said, has had a stellar season.
Yeah, but I think Faf's even further down that pecking order because Morne van der Berg also has to come back from injury.
Yeah.
So once he's back, then he'll get a chance ahead of Faf, I think.
And Hendrickse as well when he comes back.
And Jordan Hendrickse.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Obviously, fly halves, you've got Mani Lubbock, Fusi Moyo, Handré Pollard. Handré, you are not happy with his performance in the game against Leinster. You said he was a bit wayward and nowhere to be found. Mani, we know. Fusi Moyo, I was very impressed. He came off the bench and he just looked composed. He was another
Faf's try.
Yeah, and you know what? One of the words that comes to mind when you think about Riley Norton is composure, and Vusi had that as well.
He looks so calm.
Yeah.
Very calm and composed. These guys, I mean, they're 20 years old, and it looks like, you know, they've been playing senior rugby for ages.
Yeah.
No, he looks a hot prospect. I watched him play for the under 20s last year as well. Super talented guy. Happy to see him there. I think, based on current form, I wouldn't be surprised if we start with Mani against England. I don't know what's going on with Handré Pollard. We know what he's capable of, and I think that's why I'm frustrated, because we know how good he is. All the experience in the world. He's won World Cups. He's played on the biggest stage. There's just something clicking, and it looks like a lack of motivation, if that's even possible.
How do you get a lack of motivation on a final?
Mate,
in Leinster, in Dublin.
I don't know. Again, it's the moment you go into the Springbok setup, it's a different beast.
It's a different kettle of fish.
And you can, and the same argument that I had with the Bulls, you can have with the Sharks. Like, did CR play his best rugby for the Sharks?
No.
You know, in his last game, he actually said it afterwards. He said, you know, I'm sorry we couldn't produce the goods at the Sharks. We had the team, you know, and he's going to the Stormers now, and it's the Ma'anonu effect that you call it.
Yeah,
you know, when Nonu was at the Highlanders, he was nowhere to be found. Played for the All Blacks, smashed everyone.
Amazing.
He was amazing. So. I don't know. I'm not going to write off Pollard. I don't think his career is done. He needs to go to the World Cup. He's our insurance policy to kick those 1-point victories.
And when he's on song, I mean, there were a couple of, when he came back after he left the Leicester Tigers, he got back to the Bulls. First couple of games, he was a bit wayward as well.
Yeah.
And then he found, a magic, him and Ambrose Papier, and they were just unbelievable. And I think a lot of the success you guys had, you know, by getting to the final is off the back of that gelling, and then it just seemed to disappear.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Anyway, I think
we know class is permanent, form's temporary.
Correct. And I think coming back to it, one of the selections for me, Kieran Horn, who was playing at fly half out of position, didn't look like he had the greatest game. And then it was interesting when Vusi came on, he just looked like a 10. Playing in a 10.
That's his position.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried the experiment. Kieran Horn's a massively talented player, and I like him. I like him at fullback, and he deserves his place in the Springbok squad. Maybe as a utility back, you know, and if need be, you know, if we've got 3 injuries, maybe then slot him in at fly-off. I think he had an okay game at fly-off.
No, he didn't have a bad performance.
Didn't set the world alight.
No.
He would have been upset with that first tackle miss that led to the Barbars' first try.
Yeah.
Because he is a strong defender. But like you say, it's not his position. If he played at fullback, he probably would have had a killer.
Yeah, exactly. He reads the game really well from fullback, joins the line well. He was just playing out of position, and like you say, when better to have the opportunity to try something new than a Barbars game. 100%. So fair play to Rusty, chucked him in.
Yeah, gave him a shot.
And if nothing else, he knows that if in these tests ahead, if something happens to Mani, Vusi, and Handré, then he can call on Kieran to kind of step in there, because you'd know the plays, you'd know the runs.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Yeah.
So that's scrum halves, fly offs. Centres, Damien Diallender, Andre Estes, and Jesse Creel.
The usual suspects.
The usual suspects.
So you've got Kane and Moody, Damien Willemse that can slot in the midfield as well.
Yeah.
Ethan Hooker will come back. He can slot in the midfield. So we're covered.
Yeah, Kane and Damien Willemse, like you say. Outside backs, utilities backs, Kurtley Arendse, Apelele Fassi. I thought he had a good game.
Yeah, he had a good look. He was injured for a long time, so again, it was good to see him play.
Get back into it and play in the green and gold. And again, didn't set the world alight, but he looked solid. You know, he looked eager and hungry, and I was happy with him. Cheslin. Cheslin was Mr. Utility.
He was Mr. Utility. I think Cheslin would not be happy with his own defensive performance. That's probably where he dropped the ball a little bit. But he did everything else. Kicked for poles, played scrum off, scored from the base of the scrum. Like, there's nothing that he can't do. He is the ultimate utility player.
Yeah, exactly.
He's thrown the ball in the line out in the past. Like, there's literally nothing he can't do.
Yeah, you can play hooker, you can play scrum half, you can play wing, you can play fly off as well.
He can play fly
Mate, his kicks for the post
It looked smooth. I think he kicked 10 out of 12.
Yeah,
kicked 10 out of 12.
It was
so
5,
really
out,
good
of, 5
day.
out of 6, 10 out of 12. He had good consistency. I mean, the ones from the tries in the corner, he just slotted.
Yeah, no
Fair
problem.
play.
No problem.
But you said at the time he's been known to take the kicks in France.
At Toulon, he was a regular kicker. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Jaco Williams, Edwill had a decent run.
I think Edwill had a fantastic game.
Yeah.
He should have had 4 tries. Very unlucky not to score his 4th. He's just one of those guys that since he's got his opportunity against Wales in 2024, he hasn't had a lot, but every single time he gets that opportunity, he produces the goods and scores tries. Really good under the high ball.
Yeah.
Defensively, I think he outshone Cheslin on the day. No, super. So happy for him that he's there.
Yeah. And he's been given a late run, and he's taken it with both hands. Fell out because a few other people came in, and then every time they've like chucked him a bone, he's grabbed hold of it and
100%.
proved his worth. So fair play to
Great
you.
player.
Yeah. Okay, well that's the backs. We've done scrum half, half, utility, and centres. No major sort of surprises there, other than maybe Vusi coming in at that 10. But again, not a surprise.
Not a surprise. I love that Rassi's giving the younger guys
a run.
You know, Hashim Pede's going to come through. That's another one we didn't talk about at scrum off. Like Fafs was just going down and down the pecking order because Pete's coming through. Apparently had a massive game for the SA team against the Sables. So, you know, he's going to come through as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Unlucky about the Sables, by the way. Always wanting them to do well. But the SAA boys trounced them.
Yeah, Yakin Ahmed did well when he came on. A couple of good performances.
Utility forwards, no major surprises. Peter Steff, Franco Mostert, who I thought had a really good game.
Yeah, he was solid as always.
Yeah. Marco van Staden, Jan Hendrik Vessels, and Kubus Visa. Kubus Visa obviously has done a good job.
He's been knocking on the door for a while.
Yeah.
I think the only reason, and I'll take nothing away from Kubus Visa, that he made the squad, is because Ruan Venter is injured. And I think Rassi is looking for that long-term replacement for Peter Steff post the World Cup. And I think it's between either Kubus Visa and Ruan Venter, which I believe is the horse Rassi is backing. But he's injured long-term. So good to see Kubus there. I mean, he's been knocking on the door for a while and he deserves his place.
Every time he gets a run on, he has a good game.
Yeah.
So fair play to him. And then the other one is Riley Norton, which I think he put his hand up on the weekend and shows exactly why he should be in the team.
Who apparently can also play on the flank, which I didn't know. I thought he's a specialist lock. But
he, again, could be the replacement to Peter Steff.
Could be, long-term.
Could be the long-term replacement to... Why have I gone lost? We haven't done locks, that's why. Could be the long-term replacement to Eben Etzebeth.
Yeah.
So lots of talent there. Loose forwards, your man Paul de Villiers had a good game.
Deserved it. Did so well when he came on. I didn't doubt it for a second. I always said when this guy gets an opportunity in the green and gold, he's going to produce the goods. Won a couple of key penalties, like just a jackler on the ground. We spoke about Heinrich Besau a couple of weeks ago when we picked our Cheetahs team. Like, he's in that mold, man.
Cut from a similar cloth.
Short, stocky guy, close to the ground. Love it. Love seeing him there.
Ben Jason Dixon, Cameron Hanekom, Sia Khaleesi, Evan Roos, who, again, you and I thought had a good game on the weekend. Vincent Chituka and Jasper Wiese.
Yeah, Chituka is the one, again, deserves his place. Taking nothing away from him, but I thought Elrich Lowe might come in ahead of him at loose forward. Jasper, I think, I'm already licking my lips for England because I cannot wait for Jasper Wiese against Henry Pollock. That's the matchup we've been waiting for 2 years now since Pollock came on the scene. But again, great loose forwards. Evan Roos, you're right. When he came onto the field, he
looked hungry. Yeah?
He looked really hungry, and you can see he's like, I'm going to prove a point. Like, I've been knocking on the door for 4 seasons now, and I'm going to show Rassia, that I deserve to be here. But again, it's between him, Jasper, and Hanekom, and then the question is, if you pick one Lucy off the bench, who do you pick, Cameron Hanekom or Evan Roos? It's a really tough one because Hanekom's been tearing it up in the URC.
He really has.
He's been a beast.
He is a specimen. What an athlete.
Great player.
Yeah. And then the locks, no surprises. Ruan Nokia, Ruben van Heerden, Eben Etzebeth and Loot de Jager.
Yeah, Ruben van Heerden, again, probably deserves his place because he's played well for the last couple of seasons, been knocking on the door. But I think that's purely because of injury. Like, we are a little bit thin at lock. But again, we've got cover. Riley can cover. He's in as a utility forward, but he's going to cover lock. So we should be good. Let's look forward to England, Matt. In a week and a half's time.
Delicious.
what do you make of it?
Sparks are
I
flying.
see Bernard Jansen van Rensburg made the England squad. They picked him, so they've got a Safa in the midfield. And he's been playing so well for Bristol for five seasons now.
Just on that, I saw, was it Danny Kerr bitching and moaning about how he comes in and sort of a true Englishman then loses his place. I think that's all bullshit. At the end of the day, if you qualify for England, they pick you no matter where you're originally from. I mean, modern day professional sport is littered with people playing and plying their trade from all over the world into different teams. And you only have to look at Scotland, how many South Africans they've got there. Australia and New Zealand, they tend to, focus on their own. But way back in the day, was it Tian Strauss? No.
Yeah, played for Australia.
Played for Australia after playing for the Bokke. So
he was a Springbok captain and then went on to play for Australia.
Exactly.
I mean, that is
defecting.
Yeah.
So I think, for them to be calling the selection of Bernard a poor one, I think if you're good and you're right and the English coaching staff go, we want him, well then it's bad luck. It's on the others to step up and play better.
Yeah, but also he's played. He's been in the system now for 6-7 years, and he's done the hard yards. He's performed consistently well. He's outplayed all of the English centres. I think he's the best in the country. Like that guy tackles like a demon. His defensive work is amazing. So good to see him there. Another interesting selection that I saw was Maro Itoje not being picked.
Wow.
Apparently he's being rested. I'm not too sure.
How do you get rested against the Springboks?
Yeah, he's being rested apparently. But I don't know. A lot of people in the UK have been complaining about his sort of performance and consistency and his performance over the last couple of seasons now. And heads were scratched when he became the Lions captain last year. So I see Jamie George is going to lead the team to South Africa.
It's not a bad selection.
Don't know what the team's going to look like. They've picked a strong team. And they've done well until this year's Six Nations. So who knows? Always be wary of the English. But do we see a real threat? Are we really worried that the Springboks are going to lose at Ellis Park?
I think no. So I don't think we're going to lose. I don't think and Rusty's never underestimated anyone. He approaches every game with a level of due diligence and consistency that it requires, which is why he's been so successful. And I think he's going to do the same in this instance. But, the likes of Tony Brown and Zwandile Stick and Rusty and the whole squad of coaches will be putting hellfire into the boys to go out there and actually, smash the English. But equally, everyone loves playing the Springboks. Everyone looks at...
they'll be up for it. Yeah. They don't need any motivation.
They don't need any motivation. If they can take a Springbok scalp year out from the World Cup, it'll give them so much motivation. And that's not just them, but any team. So... we're the prized possession. We're the ones that everyone's trying to knock off the top block. And so anyone that we play now and into the World Cup next year is going to go hell for leather to try and get a W. And England are going to be no different. They're going to try and win, but I think they don't have the firepower to match us.
No, and I think one thing that gives me a lot of confidence for this Nations Series Cup or whatever they call it is Rusty's approach to it. He says we're not really thinking of it as a competition. We're not really paying attention to the log points. We look at it as just the next
game
test.
by game.
That's it. So they're focused on England 100%. They don't really care about log points. They're out to win every single game. That's their mantra.
Yeah.
So no, I think England might be in trouble. We'll definitely find a pub somewhere in the UK to watch it. I'm not watching that alone at home because I need to gloat if we win and disappear quickly if we lose.
It's going to be 4th of July fireworks. So not only are the Americans going to be celebrating, but either the British or the South Africans, and we pick our boykies are going to absolutely smash them at Ellis Park.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on a personal note, Matt, we're not going to watch the game against England together.
I was going to say.
Unfortunately, as we always do, watch all the Springbok games together because yours truly here next to me has decided to move back to South Africa. So
I'm going to be in Johannesburg and I'm going to look to see if I can get a ticket to go to Ellis Park.
100%, mate. Go and represent.
I'll go and represent. If you see me there, come up and we'll do a little cameo. You can get it on the next video. But no, we're heading back to SA for the next few months at least. We'll probably be back towards closer to the end of the year, but for stints, and we're going to be kind of doing that life of the swallow back and forth. As it stands, though, this is the last one side by side for a while.
For a while, at least.
And then the next ones where we're going to be side by side is when we're going to be following the Springboks versus All Blacks tour.
The greatest rivalry
tour. We're going to
Cannot wait.
we're going to be in South Africa, the two of us together. So yeah, it's been fun. Looking forward to the next few months, and come on the book. We're going to smash the English on the 4th of July.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's not the end of the road for In From the Side. We will change formats. We'll keep talking shit every single week to the 5 people that watch the show. So thank you very much for your support.
Please like, comment, share, do the needful, and we appreciate all the views and the support and all the comments. If we can have one more person, please tell us that Stephen Brink went to Central.
Yeah.
That'll tip the algorithm into a benefit and a positive.
Yeah.
But no, we appreciate all your comments. Keep the chat flowing, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. See you next time. Cheers.